Hey everybody, Kurt with RC Digging 2401, and I just installed a track upgrade kit on my DXR2 D10 dozer, and I really like the way it turned out. There's a couple things I want to tell you about it, and I could have done a video, showing how to do each step, but there's already some videos out there, and I just want to give you an overview so that you can see what you're getting into. So these tracks are 65 meters wide. They did not come with clean out holes. And so I drilled 19 64ths of an inch clean out holes on each track section. And it turned out pretty good. Some of the components that come with this are, I don't know what this piece is called. If it's like a torsion bar, but I'll show you that in a little bit. But it goes underneath in the center of the undercarriage. But it's about 3/8 of an inch wider on each side so you can get extra width. It comes with this ball that you see in comparison to this one. You can see it's about 3/8 of an inch wider in length. And then there's a spacer that goes right behind this ball. So I didn't realize it, but there is an axle that goes the full length from left to right. And this spacer, not this actual one, but the one that comes with the kit, fits right underneath here. And it keeps the axle from sliding left and right. Just as a comparison for the tracks, you can see how much wider that is. It's pretty substantial. So another spacer that the kit has, is this one right here. It's again, close to 3/8 of an inch. I didn't measure it, but that's probably a close guess. And it goes between the hull and the mounting flange for the final drive. And one of the things about this kit is you have to take this cover plate off and you got to pull the insides. And while you do that, it's a great time to get some fresh lube on your planetary gears. All right, got the dozer standing on its nose. And I'll show you a couple more spacers. You can see that black spacer there and that one there. And it pushes these track assemblies out to give it the needed clearance for the ripper and the side of the hull itself. The other thing it comes with is this bar, which is also, the same width, which gives support for the assemblies. And one of the things that you got to do is you got to take these pan screws out. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you pull those out. And underneath these two screws, you have your servo assembly block. There's your servos are in a line. And so these hold the servos to the pan, these screws and these screws are to the frame itself. So you take that off, and here's a screw, there and there, and you pull those out, and what you're doing is you're exposing this pin to be able to pull that pin out so that you can swap out this stock, there it goes this way, bar. And the pin drops through that hole right there. So it takes an E-clip. You can see part of the E-clip right there maybe, but throw some light on there. Yeah, it's a little bit more visible. So it's really easy. take out that E-clip, and these are press fit pins. So all you got to do is tap these guys out and tap that one out, and then you can switch out this bar, put your pin back in, put in these press fit pins, and put these screws back in, put these screws back in. There's a couple more screws up over here on the front for this pan. You don't have to take those out. All you want to do is just be able to have that pan drop away a little bit so you can access the pin, and then switch out that E-clip. In this photograph, you can see the forward pan. Those 4 small screws I told you about, those are out. The 2 screws are remaining in the front of the pan. That's just to allow the pan to tip forward so that you can access the pin. The rear pan is off, exposing the servos. And you can see the, just to the rear of the servos, you can see the axle is exposed, and it has the 2 black spacers on either side of the hull. And then also very close to that, the final drive, you can see the spacer has been installed, and you can see fresh grease that's been added to the bearing. The one issue I had with this upgrade kit was 6 of these track sections had, you can see how all of these track sections are cut nice and even right across here, just like this. But there were 6 of them, I kid you not, they were about that tall and angled, and you can still see a little bit of the browning in the metal where it was heated. And whatever grinder they used, I mean, they just burned the metal. And I don't know if they hired Ray Charles to inspect these things, but there are 6 of them. There's no way they would even work. So, on something like that, I've got a Sherline mill and lathe that works really good for smaller projects like this. This thing is just so accurate. But that's what I use to take those 6 sections and mill them down to where I can use them. So I ended up with 1 as a spare. All right, so this is what the track looks like as it's being used. That is just a huge improvement from the stock tracks. All right, well, we're in the indoor pit, and outside it's below 0. It is just frigid. And so we're going to run the D10, see if the tracks are going to perform as well as I hope they do, and let's give it a shot. Yeah, I can already tell that it just has a lot more capabilities here with these tracks. Alright, so as comparison, I'm going to show you the difference because I've got another D10 here. Okay, there's a better angle of the two different tracks. So it's quite a bit, and it makes a big difference. So I would say that the track upgrade kit is definitely worth the money, and if you're thinking about doing it, I'd say do it. Thanks for watching.